Well, I'm out now. So, yeah, the first thing we did was got a training session and then hit the beach. Yeah.
For long, or did you stay on the beach for very long?
Not too long. Got a little swim in. The water's pretty salty, so it
Yeah.
was just like, I was like, I'm not supposed to have sodium today. Like, you know.
Well, talk about the run that you've been on. I mean, obviously, I'm sure it's been nice to get back to winning ways. So, what's the feeling like with this little streak that you're on?
Yeah, for sure. It's just one of those you want to keep the momentum going. So, just I'm feeling good about it. Like, just I made a change. I had two losses in a row, and first time in my career. And I think like the person you are kind of like dictates what you do after that. Are you gonna kind of like fold and stay on that path, or are you gonna like make some changes and evolve? And I took a step back and I made a lot of changes, and I feel like that's kind of what's contributed to my wins.
What was the key there? Because, like you said, those losses, we start saying, "Oh man, is she still elite level? Is she still up at the top?" And then you turn on. So, what changes did you have to make?
For me, like, I worked a lot on my bottom defensive game for jiu-jitsu. I was like, I really analyzed, like, how did I lose these fights? I lost them on my back. I need to work on my cage work. I need to work off my back. I am like really outsized by a lot of these girls, so I'm like, okay, I need to put some weight on and not just like eating cookies and cheeseburgers and pizza. Like, how am I gonna like put some nutritional like knowledge into my game and like actually put some muscle on? And I started working with Clint at the UFCPI and my trainer, and started taking supplements and doing this kind of whole kind of like makeover, so to speak. So
Nice. So you get this matchup, and it was kind of scheduling's been what it has been or whatever. But what did you think about the matchup? Because she's kind of a newer name to the division. I mean, looks very talented, but maybe not have the reputation of some of the people that you fought. So what did you think about the matchup?
I for me, I feel like it's a good matchup. Like you said, maybe not kind of an up and comer, kind of maybe not as big of a name quite yet, but she's definitely like a really talented fighter. I've been studying her, and she's really good. And I used to be that fighter, like who's this girl? Who's this girl? And like to me, it's just you can't take anyone lightly in this game.
Very nice. And you both of you have basically already been called out this week in Fight Island. Amanda Ribas came out and said she wants the winner of this fight. Just curious if that got your attention.
Oh, she did?
She did. She did.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm definitely down to fight her. Obviously, I have first things first. I got to handle business over here on Fight Island, but of course, like anything the kind of, I'm down to fight anyone. I've always have been, and that's news to me. I didn't know that she kind of called out the winner of this fight, but yeah, I'm game. So let's go.
Very nice. All right, last thing for me, like I said, not to look too far forward, but where do you see your career direction at this point right now? I mean, I think there was probably a time where you didn't want to talk about rankings and titles and all that. Probably got a little annoying, but are you back to that discussion now?
I don't think I ever completely 100% left that conversation. I don't think I've been out of the top 10 since my first year of fighting. Like I've always, like strived to hit that top spot, and like there's bumps in the road always, but there's tough girls in this division. So a loss here and there I don't really think necessarily takes me or anyone out of the equation. This game is a game of matchups. Like I go there and I lose to Joanna, and then I beat Rose, and then Rose goes and knocks out Joanna, and then like there's just people are constantly evolving, and it's just one of those things. I think matchups make fights. So, you know.
A follow up on the Amanda Ribas. She's ranked below you and Marina. How do you balance if it's worth it to just take this step back in a way and fight her because of maybe there's a lot of hype around her now? How do you decide to, okay, that's a good fight for me, and what's not a good fight for you next?
For me, I just kind of take them as they come. Like, of course, you want to be like strategic. If you're really looking to get another title shot, but I think that I'm not like next in line, and I think I just have to keep getting wins, and whoever's in front of that is whoever I'm gonna fight. And like you said, I think she has a lot of hype right now. She had a big win this past weekend, so I actually think that would be a really good fight.
You're going to be 4-0 with a win Saturday. Do you feel like you have to do?
Thanks.
Do you feel that you have to do more than others because of maybe how the Joanna fight went? So you have to prove yourself more than other fighters have to get another shot at the UFC title.
Honestly, that fight is just so far in my rearview mirror. I'm not really like thinking about like what past fights have kind of like dictate. I think you're only as good as your last fight, and I think just getting some really like decisive wins, some finishes. I think that kind of like will propel me to to that title talk.
And just a last one from me. What are your thoughts on Zhang Weili? Do you see her as a lady that's gonna reign for a long time until you get there?
I think she's an amazing fighter, like super talented. She almost seemed like she came out of nowhere, like, but I've thought that of like a few fighters. Every time someone's won this belt in this division, I'm like, man, this person is tough. Like, who's going to beat this person? And then boom, someone comes in. I believe every person who's lost the belt, has been finished. There's been somebody that's come in and just dominated and like taken that belt and just kind of like exploded on the scene. So, I think she's super talented, but I don't think she's unbeatable. And like you said, yeah, and I think the fight with, I think probably her and Rose are going to be fighting next. So I think that's going to be a super entertaining fight.
Who do you think wins that one?
That's a tough one, but I'd probably like to say Rose. Yeah. I think Rose has just shown that she's been kind of like a star on the scene since she's kind of entered it, but she kind of came in so young, and I think she's been evolving and just kind of been proving people wrong, right and left, and just beating, these top level fighters. And, she came in and just beat Andrade, and, I think that she's never lost a rematch, so, I think that would be a great fight for me to come back to, in the distant future, not think about like all that too much right now. But, yeah, I definitely pick Rose for that fight because she's just gotten better and better.